Hey everyone, and welcome to London's Gatwick Airport. Gatwick is a secondary international airport serving London and is the second busiest airport in the UK. And I'll be traveling from here today all the way to New York. Since I'm flying in economy today, I needed to use the self-service kiosk to check my bag, but that was quick and easy. British Airways operates out of the South Terminal, which has a nice variety of restaurants and lounges. And today I decided to go to the Aspire Lounge, which accepts Priority Pass. I was hoping that this lounge would have a nice view of the apron, but this is as good as it got. It was still a nice place to sit and relax for a bit though. There was a bar with a buffet, and I had no trouble finding a place to sit. After spending about an hour there, it was time to head to the gate. The South Terminal has a total of 39 gates and was opened back in 1958. Gatwick is a secondary London hub for British Airways, who actually cancelled all flights between here and New York shortly after this was filmed until 2025. This was due to delays in Rolls-Royce delivering their Trent 1000 engines, which are fitted to their 787 Dreamliners. So if you're looking for a direct flight between Gatwick and New York, your best bet is to fly with Norse Atlantic for the time being. Today, however, I'll be flying aboard one of BA's 777s. Currently, BA has 59 of these aircraft and actually has an order for 16 of the all-new 777-9s. I arrived at the gate just as boarding began, and I have to say that the whole process was a breeze. This will be my second time traveling aboard BA's 777. My first time was a few years ago when I first started making YouTube videos, and the quality of that video was pretty terrible, so I'm looking forward to making this redo. This 777-200 is outfitted with business class, premium economy, and regular economy. And I'll be sitting back in economy for today's trip across the Atlantic. The majority of the seats in economy are in a 3-4-3 configuration, but my wife and I managed to snag one of the 3 rows of two seats that are in the rear of the aircraft. In total, there's 252 regular economy seats on this 777, and I'll be sitting in 45K. I've flown economy with BA quite a few times, and I've always found the seats to be comfortable. The seats recline and have adjustable headrests. The legroom is also decent, and there's a nice amount of storage space in the seat back pocket. The tray table folds down like this, and there's a USB port in the IFE screen if you need to charge your personal devices. The IFE screen itself was a nice size, and I found it to be very responsive. There were also overhead reading lights, but no air vents. And a blanket, a pillow, and a pair of earbuds were all waiting for us at our seats. The crew worked hard to get everyone seated, and we ended up pushing back from the gate on time.
To New York, Sir John F. Kennedy Airport. My name is Jamie Marsh. My pleasure to be your senior first officer. Colleague John Lee on the flight deck, Captain Graham Stone looking after your comfort and safety in the cabin with the rest of the team, in charge customer service manager Leonie Dolly Sparks. 15 minutes taxi out to takeoff runway. Flight times today are relatively short, 7 hours and 10 minutes. The generally speaking should all be relatively smooth once we're around the heavy showers here, so maybe a few lots of bumps for the first 20 to 30 minutes or so.
Began the snack and drink service shortly after reaching cruising altitude. Everyone received one of these bags of pretzels, and a drink of their choice. And then lunch was served a little bit later. My wife was served first since she ordered a special vegan meal, and she received this noodle dish with tofu. I had to wait a bit longer for my meal, and when the flight attendants came around, I was offered either a vegetarian or chicken dish. And I chose to go with the chicken. This was served with a little salad, some bread, cheese, and a dessert. We were also offered wine, but I just went with water. I enjoyed the meal overall. I found the chicken to be nice and tasty, and most importantly, I felt full once I was done. Once the meal was cleared away, I went to the lavatory to freshen up. There were quite a few lavatories available to economy passengers, and I never needed to wait very long to use one throughout the entire flight. Once I got back to my seat, I decided to settle in for the rest of the flight. I sat in a 2-2 seat like this the last time I flew with BA aboard their 787, and the only difference between these seats is that there's a large gap between the seat and the fuselage on the 787, which served as a nice storage space. Having that free space is nice on the 787, but there was plenty of storage space in the overhead bins on today's flight, so it wasn't a big deal. Reserving these seats ahead of time can be very expensive though, but thankfully they were still open when we checked in, so we didn't have to pay anything to sit here today. I spent the next few hours relaxing and watching movies. There was a nice variety of movies to choose from, and I had no trouble finding something to watch. The IFE system also had a solid selection of TV shows, and you could also purchase a Wi-Fi pass if you wanted to surf the web. The pre-landing snack was served when we were about an hour away from New York. Everyone received either a chicken or a vegetarian pastry, and I decided to go with the chicken, which was pretty good.
I'd like to reset your watches. Local time is just coming to 5 minutes to 5 in the afternoon. I have around about 40 minutes to go now, so it should be around about 25 minutes to 6 local time. Trust you've had a pleasant flight so far. Any sort of updates, I'll get back to you in due course.
I booked this flight for 25,000 avios plus an additional $100, and I think that was a pretty good deal. I found the economy cabin to be very comfortable on this 777 for a transatlantic flight. The crew was also nice and professional, and the food was decent. Booking this flight with miles also meant that I could check it back for free, so that definitely helped me save some money. I would gladly recommend flying economy with British Airways on a long-haul flight like this, although I haven't tried out their A380 or A350 yet, but hopefully I can find an excuse to travel aboard those planes sometime this year. And that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.